Welcome back to chapter 5. In this chapter, we are going to do that social media table, plus we are going to add some coding for our H1 and H2 tags. All right, so you need to open your template and your main CSS. I'm going to scroll down and we're going to find the closing aside tag. Then I'm going to put my cursor after that paragraph tag, hit enter a couple times, and then now I'm going to go to open, and we are going to open up the social gallery HTML page. And if I run this now, you're going to see that I have my pages all set up there. That's good. So I'm going to copy this entire coding, because remember we talked about this not actually being a website. And I'm going to go back to my template and I'm going to paste in. It doesn't move. I'm going to paste in my table. Then I want to make sure everything is lining up correctly. There we go. So I can see my opening and closing table. I can see my closing TR tags, and I can see my closing TD tags. That's good. And so I'm going to save this now, and I am going to run it. I haven't run this yet. So there we go. And I'm going to scroll down, and there is my social media table. Now I could leave this like this and center it, or I can make this all one row, which is what I'm going to do. It's up to you what your preference is, but I am going to make this one row. To do that, I have to take out my closing TR tag for my first row and take out my opening TR tag for my second row. Delete those. I'm going to save them, and now I'm going to go back in and update that. There we go. And so now I have my social media table in there. Now I'm going to go to main CS because I'm definitely going to have to go ahead and code this. And so I'm going to do that I'm going to go back to my main page, my template, and I'm going to put this in a div tag. I think it'll be easier to control, and I'll set it up as ID social. And then I'm going to have to go to the end of my table. Here, and I'm going to close out my div tag. And I'm going to move this over because I want to be able to see my opening and closing div tag. There we go. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go and run it. And it shouldn't make any difference at this point. No, it doesn't. All right, because I haven't done any CSS with it. So now I'm going to go in here to my main CSS page. I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I am going to now put in my ID selector for my social. And I also want this to apply to the table. So I'm going to type in table. Jeez. And since I want it to apply to both, I'm going to put a comma that separates them. All right. Now, what do I want to this table to do? I'm going to set the margin. And then I'm going to, it might sound a little stranger, but I'm going to do a border radius, and I'll show you what that does here. I'm going to do 10 pixel. I think that's what I want. Yeah. And then I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to go update. And if you notice now, my table has been centered, but my border radius has not been applied yet. And what the border radius does, it curves corners. So to do that, I am going to have to go back to my image tag, and I have to set up my ID selector to make sure that the border applies to the ID selector. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to set up an ID that equals social. Then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put that inside each of my image social media icons. It used to be very difficult to curve corners, but now with CSS, it's a lot easier now to do that. Now I am going to actually run this so we can compare the difference. All right, if I scroll down here, if you notice now that my corners are curved, where before they were straight. So there we go. Forget it. So now I have some curved corners, and I kind of like that. I think it looks a little bit better that way. So now I have taken care of this. Now we're going to go in and we're going to add some things to our, I'm going to exit out of this because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to go in to the end, and we're going to do some application to our H1 tags. Now here's the thing. I want my H1 and H2 tags, they're going to have the same coding, the selectors are. So I can actually group my selectors if they're going to have the same coding, which is what I'm going to do. The only difference is I'm going to separate them by a comma. So I'm going to do my font family. I'm going to do David Serif. So I've got that. I'm going to do a color. And I want my color, I think I'm going to do it white. And then I'm going to add something different. I'm going to add a text shadow. And I'm going to do it 2 pixel by 2 pixel. And then what color do I want my shading to be? I'm going to type in, let me see, 7. Seven, 2D, I think it is, 2D, 2D, that'd be 1, I think it is, 1, oh, can't type it in, 1, A6. My room is kind of dark here, A6. And then we're going to save it, and then we're going to go back and we're going to upload it. If you can see now, I have some text shadow showing up. Now I need to check because I'm not sure. I put an H2. Let me go up. Yeah, I'm going to change this to an H2 instead of an H3. I want it to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to change that to an H2. That's why it was not applying, because I had an H3 tag there. It should apply now. Yeah, there we go. So now I have a little bit there. You notice I have a little bit of gap here. I can try to take care of that by going after my table and then trying to add maybe a break tag. Go ahead and save that. Yeah, it's almost down there now. It's almost complete. I don't think I can get it any closer. So there we go. We have our website, and this is our template. So this template now is going to be what we use to create our other pages, our home page, our cat, our cat toys, our cat games, and cat care. And what will stay the same on all of these pages will be our banner, our nav bar, our left column, our right column. Our social media has to be on all of our pages, and then our footer will be on all of our pages. So before you do anything with creating your actual relative pages, you want to make sure that your template is exactly the way you want it so that you don't have to go back and make changes on every page. So we have just finished putting in our table, and we have coded our social table, and we have added in our H1 and H2 tags. That's it. And go ahead and complete the task that we did on this one, and then we'll be looking at creating our relative pages for the next video.